make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. To Let's Sip and Talk with Freema on this great Wednesday. I hope everybody's having a great work week and will continue to be productive and kind. Remember, we always say that it doesn't cost you anything to be kind. You never know what one person is going through. So compliment somebody, make them feel good about themselves. Just tell them something nice. Anywho, on this great Wednesday, we have our South Carolina finest. We have Tye Hill on today with us. Had a pleasure of meeting him briefly, but I can't wait to see, what he has to offer, to give us some motivation, to give the little Ties out there who want to be in his shoes one day the motivation they need. So without further ado, let's bring on Tye Hill.
Hero time. Lester wide right, Blackman wide left. Gonzalez in the slot. The pass picked off. Tye Hill looking for blockers. Headed to the sideline. Still on his feet. We're going to overtime.
There's your hero for now.
That's the second time Clemson stopped a BC drive with an interception. One was in their own end zone. And Tye Hill comes up with it to end it at regulation. We've got overtime staring us in the face because of Tye Hill's interception of a Matt Ryan pass. We'll look at it again.
We've seen Tye Hill play some good football. Been waiting on it. He comes through with a big play. Jumped on it. Matt might have telegraphed it a bit, but why not? He's trying to make a play. And here's a young man that's competing.
Tye Hill with the interception. Well, we've got some.
Wow, I'm impressed just by that footage. I bet you was sitting there smiling, watching it.
For some reason, I didn't even get to see it. Said my brother didn't support the something. So
you did something spin around on somebody. That's when you was at Clemson. A spin. And
okay.
Kind of fancy stuff. So Tye, for the ones that may not know you, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, my name is Tye Hill. My name is John Tye Hill, and I'm from St. George, South Carolina, a community called Texas Community, right outside the city limits of St. George. All my family, my mother and father was born and raised there. So was me and my brother. I have an older brother, Roland Hill. We're actually 19 years apart. I was actually born the day he graduated high school. So that's a little fun fact about me.
Yeah, but over.
Yeah. And so come from a small town with big dreams, and always thought that I was going to be able to do the things that I set out to do from a kid. And that was two things I fell in love with was football and track. And I was played at St. George, started at St. George High School, which was a 1A school. We ended up combining with Harleyville-Ridgeville High School, which was another 1A school, which we became 2A.
Okay.
And so I played 1 year. I played JV and varsity at St. George my freshman year. Then played varsity my sophomore year, started on varsity, and then went on over to Woodland High School where, I continued my junior and my senior year, playing football and running track, was all state in both, all American in both. I'm like a 7 to 8 time state champion in track. Didn't get that far on the football field. Probably made it my junior year. My junior year, I think we made it to the first round of the playoffs. And I think we played you guys. I believe it was Edisto that put us out. And then on top of that, went on to my senior year. We played We made it back to the playoffs. I believe we made it to the first round. I don't think I've ever made it outside the first round. Ended up being elected to play in the North-South All-Star game due to I've been really never finished my high school season every year. I was actually hurt every year, so I was a little bummed that I didn't make the Shrine Bowl. But because that's if you're into high school football and you want to make and you're talking about the upper echelon of bowls, that's where you want to go. And that's what I saw myself being able to do since I was a little kid, once I saw the Shrine Bowl on TV. So I was a little bummed that I didn't make it, right? But went on, played in North-South, had a great experience there. Got recruited, ended up signing with Clemson, had a lot of offers, but ended up narrowing it down to Clemson. So I went on to Clemson, and I played I continued running track and playing football. I was an all ACC sprinter. Won 160 meter. I won about 3-4 team individual. I think I won 3 individual titles. I've been all ACC probably like 6 times, something like that, and won a few team titles as well. And then on the football field, I was All-American, consensus All-American. Cornerback. I went in as a running back, so I was a running back in high school. Go back, and I ended up switching to cornerback my sophomore year. Went over and started 3 years, played there, and became all ACC, all consensus All-American, and went on and got drafted into the NFL. I believe I was the 15th overall pick in the 2006 draft. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Got drafted to the St. Louis Rams, was actually the first cornerback drafted that year. And made it through my whole college career not getting hurt. Like I said, I was hurt a lot. In my high school days, had little minor issues like not hamstring, but like ankle. I would sprain my ankle, or I had a stress fracture in my back, or something like that. That would keep me out of games. And had a healthy college career. Never missed a game. Never missed a track meet. I believe I missed 1 track meet. That's because I didn't really want to go. It was a party on campus. I didn't.
They had a little fun in there.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed my college experience. I believe everybody that get an opportunity to go, you should go, because you get to learn a lot more about yourself. And me being from a small town, coming from at St. George, 400 students that was in my class. I mean, not in my class, but in the whole school.
Yeah.
Right. And then going to Woodland High School, I believe we ended up having only like 600, to going to a major university, playing in front of 90,000 week in, week out, and a student body of 22,000, I believe, 17 undergrad, and total like 22 with graduates. So it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. I met some of my best friends while I was there that I'm still very in contact with today. And you meet lifelong friends.
Right,
you meet a lot of bonds. But I tell you this, I didn't know how hard it was. How hard it really was just looking at it on TV. You know what I mean? But it was a great experience, man. I wouldn't do anything different than today.
What kept you motivated? Like from even in high school, because there's a lot of peer pressure. There are certain things you want to do, that unfortunately you couldn't do because you had to either practice or, what kept you motivated that whole time?
To be the best. I was self-motivated. I wanted to be the best at whatever I did, especially on the track and on the football field. I knew I had to have grades, so I had to do that too. So it made sure I had that. But I just wanted to be the best. I was just telling my kids like this last night. I mean, back then we had this thing. I don't know if they have it now, but it was this South Carolina Sports Report. All right, remember that? Where it was really like a newspaper where you get to see every school in the state of South Carolina was sending, their press clippings or what recap of the week or what have you. So I was into that. I was into that since probably like seventh, probably eighth, ninth grade. And then on top of that, I was the ball boy for my high school, St. George High School, when I was in seventh and eighth grade.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So I was always around the sport. I fell in love with the sport. I was self-motivated. I didn't need anybody to motivate me. You know what I mean? It was what I wanted to do. So I wasn't going to do anything that was going to derail me from doing what I wanted to do. And I knew that high character was going to have to be part of it.
right.
Grades was going to have to be part of it. My performances on the football field and the track was going to have to play a part of it. So I was really self-motivated, man. I didn't really need anybody to motivate me. My parents were older.
Okay.
And on top of that, like, no one's ever seen anyone from my town. I'm the first person out of my district to sign a D1 scholarship.
Wow.
So no one ever seen it before. No one didn't believe it could happen because we were so small and thought that we got overlooked. But I never believed that. I just believe if I go out there and do my part, that people are gonna recognize me and they're gonna come get me. And that was my motivation. I was a hardhead. I wanted to prove everybody else wrong. So I think that was part of my motivation.
Yeah, you have to have that self-motivation. You have to be able to believe in yourself, so other people can see that confidence and believe in you as well. We have a lot of comments. I just want to we see you guys. So let's see from the top. We have Angela. She said he has been a great athlete since St. George High School days. I remember him from track and field. You must have was really good because look, we graduated a long time ago and they still remember Tye Hill.
I know. This is 20 years, man.
Yes. Woo, don't remind me.
Yeah, I can see. You see, I ain't got no hair now. You know what I mean? So.
Elijah said Clemson all day.
Clemson all day, baby. You see my shirt?
Yep, I see it. Angela said great 400-meter runner as well. I believe 800-meter runner too. You did the no 800?
No, I did that one time because I was running my mouth. I was a 100, 200, 400, and I hated the 400. If you ever saw me run the 400, it was probably very comical. You know what I mean? The crazy thing about it, I was a 2-time state champion in it. It's crazy. But yeah, man, it was, I was sprint all day. I tried that 400, 800 one time, and that was like, never again.
The 800, is that 4 times around or?
2 laps.
2? Ooh.
Yeah. That one lap was hard enough.
Yeah, that one lap, that 400 is like, I applaud anybody that can do it. I tried it one time and I felt like I was about to die.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And that was the last time I ever tried it,
She said been running since 7th grade because she was too.
Yeah. I've actually been running track. So I come from the Baptist Brotherhood. I was a Baptist down there. I went to St. Mark Baptist Church and Good Hope Baptist Church in St. George. Texas community was St. Mark, and in St. George was a Good Hope. My mother was a member at St. Mark, and that's where her family went. My daddy was a member of Good Hope, and that's where his family went. And that's where I went to both. You know what I mean? And but I ran track with Good Hope Baptist Church. So the Baptist Brotherhood actually had a track lead. You know what I mean? So that's where I actually started running track. I actually started running track in the church league back, I don't know, probably like when I was in 10, 11 years old. That's
good. That's definitely good. And then you kept it up. Hello, Melvin. Thanks for tuning in. Hello, LaQuisha Law. And she said, hey, Ty.
What's up, girl? How you doing?
Angela is very inspirational. Angela was a Ryan when we were in school. Simpson's her married name. And Tion Brown said, hello. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. Just to hear his story. It's like you had you played for, okay, wait. I'm getting beyond myself. Let's talk about you being drafted. I have to jump into there. How did that make you feel? Like, did you automatically know first round draft, I'm getting picked, or like, how was that whole experience for you?
Well, it was surreal. Did I know? Yes, I knew I was going to get drafted. My whole goal at that time was I wanted to be the first cornerback drafted. You know what I mean? The first person at my position to be drafted. And so that was my whole motivation going into my senior year, because I could have left after my junior year, right? But I was on track to graduate, and I didn't want to. I knew if I left school without graduating, I probably wasn't gonna come back. You know what I mean? So I wanted to make sure I got my papers. So I graduated, and my senior year in December, and then after that, all the way leading up to that year, I was in the Mel Kiper's. It was called the big board, where they look at the top 20 or 25 draft eligible players. And I was somewhere in there. I can't remember where I was ranked in there, but I was like one of the top corners. And I wanted to keep that draft grade. So I kind of knew what was possible, you know, leading up to that. I had to still perform, right? And I was very fortunate to be able to do that. I ended up finishing my senior year probably like, you know, one of my best years. I was nominated for the Jim Thorpe Award, which I believe I should have won if I was on a better team. But I believe Michael Huff won it that year out of Texas because he was ended up being on the national championship team. You know what I mean? So all these things were happening. It was named All-American. But that don't really mean that you're going to get drafted high, because there's a lot of guys that even win the Heisman that don't even get drafted. You know, but I knew during the draft process, you know, after my senior season, I finished it healthy. I finished it strong. You know, now it was just the other part. The other part of that process is the draft process, right? And I actually went out to after I graduated. I think I played in my last bowl game was I believe Colorado, University of Colorado. Mm-hmm. I think we played them in the Tangerine Bowl in Orlando. I came after that game. We won that game. After we finished that game, I came home for like a week, a couple of days, something like that. And then I flew out to Phoenix, Arizona. I was actually in Tempe, Arizona, at Scottsdale area, training for the draft. And, okay. Yeah. So, and that was like, you know, that training get your body right. You know, it was a whole new experience, not being in class. You know, you working out, training specifically for, you know, 2 days. And those 2 days are the NFL Combine and your pro day at your college, at Clemson. And so I knew I was going to run well because I was a track guy, you know. Well, so I knew I controlled my fate. I still didn't know where I was going to fall. You know, the St. Louis Rams decided to pick me up in the first round, and you know, and that's kind of like how it happened. But it was kind of surreal. I had my draft party down in St. George at the local armory.
Okay.
Like I said, I was the first person to get, let alone sign a D1 scholarship, but get drafted. You know, and go first round. And go top 15. And so I wanted to share that experience with, you know, not only my family and friends, right, also my teammates, you know, the kids in the community. So they know that this is actually possible. This is something that you can do. You know, it's a way to go about it though, but you gotta, you know, I ain't saying my way is the right way, but it's you have the grades, you perform how you're supposed to perform, you know, right. Be high character, you know, don't put yourself in situations that you shouldn't be in. Absolutely. I mean, good things will happen to you, and then keep God first. You know, I come from, like I said, you know, I started in the church league track, so I come from a heavy Christian background on both sides of my mother and father's family. So I always had faith. I never believed there was nothing that I couldn't do. Right. You know, once I put my mind to it.
Well, that's good. Yeah,
a little bit.
I don't know why. But yeah, it's always good to have that confidence within yourself. And like you said, that self-motivation, that means a lot. And people see that. People see that driving you. Harold said, what up?
What up? What up, Harold Davidson? What's good, brother? My Clemson brother.
Yep.
All in. You know it. Tye Hill.
Hey, yeah. Harold, how you doing? Thank you. Harold miss.
Yeah, Harold's a legend back where I'm from, man.
Yeah.
That's a legend. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it definitely shows that, okay, you don't necessarily have to be in a big city, to make it out. You just have to have that support, and you have to have that self-love, and you gotta want it. You have to want to achieve it. And it doesn't necessarily have to start from 3-4 years old. Like you said, you started when you 11 running track.
Yep. Yeah, I started playing football like around that time, and then started running track around that same time. So yeah, it was, I mean, like I said, I knew what I wanted to do with my life, you know what I mean? And I didn't want to do anything else. So I was all in, you know what I mean? Like the Clemson slogan, all in. I was all in.
You was adamant about getting it, and you did it. Yeah. I hope our younger generation now, have that type of drive. Some of us kind of fall off. Some of us feel like because we don't have the support, I can't do it, So I just hope, that's why I like doing, shows like this. So they'll know, okay, he got it this way, or he did it this way, or, it is hope for me. So hopefully the little Tyes out there know, like, hey, I can do it too. The little Harolds out there, hey, I can do it too. Just because I'm in a small town doesn't mean anything. Show
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. This all it starts with a dream. It starts with a dream. But like our era, we was always outside, man. Like I was always outside. I grew up. I played football and I ran track, but I played basketball every day. You know what I mean? Like I was always competing. And that's the thing. You can't be afraid to compete. You can't be afraid to put yourself out there. That's when you can actually motivate yourself to do good. You know what I mean? Because now, I needed that pressure. Like I needed that pressure. I put the pressure from myself, you know what I mean, to always want to look good at what I'm doing, and if someone's saying bad about me, I took that criticism as okay. Yeah, I remember you saying that, but at the same time, I use that to motivate me, you know what I mean, to do what I need to do. Because let me tell you something, whatever you do, good or bad, it's gonna always be somebody that's gonna criticize, go talk.
Absolutely. They're gonna have something to say regardless.
Regardless. So why worry about it?
That's what I always say. You find a positive out of a negative. Regardless of what the situation is, you find a positive out of that negative. And like you said, you take that criticism or whatever they felt they were dishing out, and you push forward to show them, hey, prove them wrong. Show them that you can do this.
Definitely.
So you played for 4 or 5 teams: the Rams, the Titans, how many more?
So I played for the Rams for 3 years. I got traded here to Atlanta, and then I kind of forced my way out of Atlanta. I was an athlete, so like I said, hey man, the thing that make you can be the same thing that break you as well. So you gotta know how. And then I was a high athlete. I was an athlete that never sat the bench. And when I got into the league, injuries started to play a role, and didn't really know how to handle it. Didn't have a good cast around me for as the teams. The team was up, then they were down. The St. Louis Rams, now the LA Rams, didn't have a good season until a winning season. Until the Sean McVay, I want to say the Sean McVay era. And that was almost 5 years ago. And then we talking about 15 years ago. So 10 years, it was something else. But and then so I played for the Rams, and then I got traded to Atlanta. Things didn't work out here. And I was, that's what really hurt me. So I was upset. Because I wanted to be here, but I didn't want to be here under their terms. So I forced my way out. You know what I mean? I told them to release me, right? And then I thought I was ready to go. Then I go to Tennessee, and then I pulled my hamstring, and I was like, I've never pulled my hamstring in my life. You know, the day that they gave me the starting job, well, they didn't give me. I earned the starting job. I was going one, then I pulled my hamstring in practice going against Nate Washington. Ran the route for him, going to pick the ball, and I pulled my hamstring. So I ended up getting released from them. I was like a final cut, and then I ended up finishing that year. I ended up signing with the Detroit Lions, and then played that year there. And then after that, I kind of like started. I had started while I was in the league. I actually became a franchisee for Golden Corral.
Okay.
And I started peeping into my business, and then I realized that the people that I actually had hired to run my business for me I didn't feel like they were doing the job to the best of their abilities.
Wow.
So I ended up like, transitioning into like a businessman, like going into my business. And that's where I went through Golden Corral University. I went through like a 13-week process to actually learn how to run the restaurants and learn how to manage food costs, learn how to manage a P&L, learn how to manage labor. You know, I come from teams, so the Golden Corral is, any business you got to be able to formulate teams, and that's one thing that I was great at, because that's all I've been a part of teams my life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's good, like you say, you went through that course, because a lot of people feel, okay, yeah, I have the funds, and this, and I'm gonna jump into this, I'm gonna jump into that. But it's good to actually learn about it, so you'll know, nobody can't get over on you. You know what's going on. You know how things supposed to be ran. But some people just jump into it without doing that. So kudos to you.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. You gotta, in order to learn to run someone's concept, you gotta know how they run it. Especially if they've been doing it for like 50 plus years. Like I don't like to reinvent the wheel. I like to improve on it. And then there's something I can always do that's gonna help me, that's gonna help us, then I'm gonna do it. Like I don't have a reserve to jump in and be all in to what I need to get done. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like how I've been. It's kind of like my MO. That's what got me out of St. George. That's what got me to Clemson University. You know what I mean? That's what got me to the NFL. You know what I mean? Not being afraid to roll my sleeves up and, grind and, do what needs to be done.
Absolutely. You're a go-getter. You're going to get it.
Yeah, gotta get it.
You got to get it. Now, I know early on you mentioned you have children. You have boys, girls?
Yes, I have 2 kids. I have a son that's 13 years old, and I have a daughter that is 9. And I actually coach my son's football team, which is one thing I am proud to say. I started coaching him at 10U. He's 13 now, and I didn't even really want to coach him because I wanted to get somebody else in his ear, because I'm dad at home, and I kind of wanted to be that, but then I put him in this team over here that I realized there's a lot of daddy ball going on, and this thing take a lot of time, and I ain't had time for that, so I ended up letting him play that year. I was a bad parent. I'm gonna tell you, I was a bad parent. I went out there, and the first 3 days it was supposed to be an acclimation process, so I was like, okay, they're gonna acclimate him, get him ready.
Right.
And then the 4th day they went straight to pads without teaching them nothing about the fundamentals of tackling and anything. So I was like, oh no, we can't do this. So I ended up, and that was at 9U. So at 10U, I ended up started coaching this team, and we went undefeated. Actually, we've been going on 4 years now. We've never lost a game in our county. We're three-time GFL champs, going for the number 4, and we're currently ranked number 3 in the nation. We're the first rec team to be ranked in the nation. Everybody else is pretty much travel teams. Getting national invites, getting national sponsorships like Battle. So yeah, man, we're I'm proud of my boys. My son and all his friends. I got a great group of kids, man, that I'm trying to mold to go to Clemson. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun, man, to see them. They're doing things that I didn't do in high school.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, Oh my God, I do so much with him. I'm actually the offensive coordinator, because no one else wanted to handle the offense because, the offense and the secondary are two of the most disciplined areas, and it takes time to get the kids gelled. And I had an offensive background because I played running back in high school, went to Clemson as a running back, played redshirted 1 year as a running back, played 1 year as a running back. So I had the experience, and now I got a great group of coaches that we all work together. It ain't no one person that makes all our decisions, right. And that's why we work. And we got a great group of parents, that has been with us long enough now to trust us. But this year has been a little different because now we're getting a lot of national pub, and this is the last year in the youth. Next year they'll be going on to high school. Yeah. So and our whole job was to get them ready, especially my son. I wanted him to be ready, be fundamentally sound going into high school so he can hit the ground running. What I mean? And being able to flash early, hopefully get to play early, get his body right, and then have a good high school career and have a good experience at it, and not put no pressure on him because let me tell you, I did football because that's what I wanted to do. I don't live my football life. I ran track because that's what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? And my son said, this is what he wants to do. So if this is what you want to do, I'm going to show you. This is how you do it. This is what you got to do. And truly, I feel like if he does continue to play and he does want to carry it on, I can show you all the good. I can show you all the bad. I can show you what to do. I can show you what not to do. I can tell you when to be quiet. I can tell you when to listen. God gave us one mouth and two ears for a reason. Right,
absolutely. A lot of people mess up with that. They so busy ready to respond and not even hearing what you're saying.
Yeah, I was that guy. I was that guy, man. As a cornerback, when you at the position that I played, man, you can't think no one's better than you. You gotta always you play with a high level of intensity, and I was an intense guy. I was a great guy off the field, but once on the field or anything about what I'm doing on the field, I'm very passionate about. I'm passionate about the things that I do, and that's a good thing and it's a bad thing. And you gotta know how to manage it. You gotta know how to manage it.
Balance out.
You gotta balance. Gotta balance.
I enjoyed this. I really did. Is there anything else that you would like to just put out there that we did not discuss? I do have one more question, though. Look, how I'm going to ask you that and then say I got a question. I want to go back really quickly when you mentioned you had a smooth college career, no injuries and things. Do you think, and it's probably a crazy question, but do you think from the injuries previously had major effect on you after college? You get what I'm saying? To cause maybe the hamstring injury or any other injuries that you may have encountered, or no, because you should have healed and everything by then.
Well, the injury that I had was fluke. They were all fluke injuries. You know what I mean? I broke my back. You know what I mean? I broke my back by just a play that I normally on a scout team. I was on defense. I was going up against our scout team with the St. Louis Rams my second year in the league, and first was the second game of the year, and my safety just came down. Normally I wouldn't even try to knock the ball down or go or compete for it. This time I decided to. He was driving down hard. We was in a single high coverage, so we just kind of collided. You know what I mean? Boom, broke my back. Out 4 weeks, out 4 to 6 weeks, something like that. Then I came back, and then playing against Atlanta in December, my second year, I was going for a pick. You know what I mean? I recognized the formation. I did a lot of film study. I was jumping the route, and then Joe Horn, receiver that played for Atlanta at the time, he pushed me in my back. So I put my hand down on the turf to brace my fall. Paralunate dislocated my wrist. So to answer your question, no, I don't think so. But I would tell you this: I believe one of the reasons why I wasn't injured in college like that was because I continued to run track. I ran track my whole college career up until my senior year when I was getting ready for the NFL draft. I wanted to put the notion away that I'm not a track guy playing football. I'm a football guy. I'm a football player running track. You know what I mean? And I wanted to put that away, and I showed that with my play. But that's definitely, I believe, one of the reasons. You know, I think things God works in mysterious ways. Things happen the way they happen.
100%.
You know, I can't. All I can say is I had a great experience. You know, I couldn't think of doing anything else. I'm glad I had the experience and the enlightenment that I had, so now I can pass it on to the next generation. And it gave me an opportunity and a platform to where I can, if I want to continue to coach or be more involved with the game, which I feel like coaching my son's team has kind of done that to me. I don't know. I'm kind of like, where even do I want to coach now? You know, for real. You know what I mean? Like, so I think you know, things just happen the way they happen. Right. I think but the number one thing, you do have to take care of your body. You know, you got to take care of your body at all costs. But my injuries were, you know, they were just, you know, they kind of unexplainable to me. I don't know, but they happened.
Right. Wow, I just wanted to know that. Something popped in my head that I want to know. But as I was asking before, is there anything else that you would like to put out there that we did not discuss?
No, I just say thank you for having me. I enjoyed it. I'm glad to see a lot of people back home got to see it. I put it on my story so people can, hopefully they can go back and see it. I forgot to do it earlier. I've been ripping and running, you know, with 2 kids and with everything else that's been going on.
I know. I had 3, so I feel
yeah, but
I definitely understand.
But yeah, man, it's been fun. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Thanks for sharing your story with us. You know, and I know that motivated some individuals. Again, just to reiterate, being in a small town does not mean you have to be stuck there. So parents, let your kids play these sports. Let them dream big and support them.
Yeah, let them dream. It can't be your dream. It got to be their dream.
It got to be their dream. Exactly. And if you don't mind staying on, Tye, when we finish up here, I really appreciate just for a quick few minutes.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Well, I thank you so much again. I know you're busy, like you said, with your 2 little ones. Thank you for taking the time out to come on Let's Sip and Talk with Freema, just to share your story with us and motivate the ones that may need that little oomph. So I appreciate that from you. And viewers, thank you guys for watching. Make sure y'all share. This may motivate, you know, someone else. So again, thank you so much. And as we always say on Let's Sip and Talk with Freema, peace and love.
Take care.
You too.